Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Connections with Mike and Cass podcast. Maybe to be a different name, but for now, Connections with Mike and Cass. We are longtime friends and believers that we should make every moment the most special moment that you can in this life. And we are so excited to spread some positivity and light into this world. Mike?
I'm excited to be here.
You
For
are?
the first time, in the studio that is Cass, Connections with Cass. So I'm happy to be here and on the podcast because I've listened to your podcast and, of course, tuned into the lives on TikTok. So this is amazing. But yeah, we're going to talk about some really good things today.
We are super excited to give you a little bit of a backstory about our relationship and how we came to be these people that we are today. So if you guys don't know Mike, he's moderator Mike in the TikTok lives.
That's me.
Everybody's
Yup.
like, who is Mike?
Always
This is
pinning the
Mike.
posts.
And he and I have been friends for over 15 years. We met in college. And ever since we met, we have always taken the time to create magical moments together, special moments out of ordinary things.
Yeah. There was always something there with you and then with I together.
Yeah.
When we come together, there's something there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. It's the sun shining, the wind's blowing just the right way to stop and pause and say, listen, this is a magical time.
And we have been doing that for 15 years. At least.
Yeah.
And I think it's really beautiful to reflect on those 15 years because, at least for me, I only started this spiritual awakening about 3.5 years ago. And I've definitely leaned into the magic in that time. But to think about how it's always been present, but not necessarily my inspiration consciously. I think we would just do it. It was a nice thing to do. But then at least I would engage in some bad habits and not be spiritually connected at all. It was just a thing that happened that was super nice in the moment. And we always took the time, which is so beautiful. But to reflect back on how the experience of the depth of those moments, I think.
Yeah. Well, Cass would always be that person. You'd be like, Michael, take in this moment. This is amazing. We're never going to get this back again. And that's true. In that present moment, that's all we had at that moment. And so I think, like you said, it was within you to be like, let me, even if you didn't realize you were doing it, shouting it out to be like, this is it. This is the moment that you need to soak it up. I feel like we really need to really appreciate this. Life is not that it doesn't get any better, but in that moment, you're like, life doesn't get better than this. Of course, things progress and things change and you experience better things, but in that moment, that's what you were living. But you say it out loud.
Yeah.
And maybe that was a future
Premonition
of what you were about to what your life was going to lead into.
Yeah, but
you really fell into that fully.
Yes.
Which is great.
Which is a full circle moment. But I'd like to have a full circle moment with you. He's talking about me. He would literally call me and be like, Cass, I'm sitting out in the grass right now. The sun is hitting my face. This is the most insane moment I've ever had in my life. Or we're at like a restaurant that's it's like a very normal restaurant. And he would just stop and he'd be like, with all of our friends, you guys, this is the vibe.
I think I have moments of gratefulness, but I don't realize that I'm saying it like that.
But me too.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'll say it and then it's just like I want to amplify the vibes because they're that good.
Yeah.
And so I'll say it out loud, but it's like a gratitude thing.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it without actually putting a name to it being like a gratitude verbal moment in that thing. I think I was doing that back then also, like you said, calling you and saying all those things, but I wasn't necessarily the person to remind other people. That was you.
That was me.
That's maybe the point I'm getting at.
Okay.
Where you were acknowledging it, but you were like trying to
inspire
let
others.
other people know. Yeah. Inspire them to be like, do you see what I'm seeing, like trying to like shake them, like,
Wake
not
up.
violently,
Wake up.
just like, exactly.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of an awakening. And that was definitely what you were doing.
Yeah.
And now
look where we are.
Fast forward 15 years and look where you are.
Yeah.
You're doing it now you have different mediums to do it in. Mediums.
No pun intended. And well, let's talk about your future because I think you're at a turning point as well.
Yeah, I'm at a crossroads.
So let's talk about this, like how you can make the things that, I've seen in you. And I think this is a great point too. A lot of times our friends or our family see the see the good and the bad in us more than we see the good and the bad in us,
Very
and
true.
see how our actions and our light and our darkness are contributing
Mhm.
to what we're experiencing in life. And when we can really look internally and see
Mhm.
that within ourselves and see the
Mhm.
light within ourselves.
That is the struggle for sure. Because
Yeah.
I think that the people outside of you can really see the authentic you
Yeah.
because, the people closest to you, when you're not putting up a front and you're just living, they can see the authentic you, but it's like you're having to channel, like, what is my authentic self? You have to think of really settle with yourself and be like, what is that? And that's what I'm like. Not that I can't find myself, but what is it that I want to do outside of like for service or for work or for a career that takes my authentic self and fulfills what's inside of my heart, like what I want to do. But yeah, it's how we're hard on ourselves more than other people are hard on us because they see the authentic self. Like you're
Yeah.
sweet, you're kind, you're nice, you're this, you're that, or you're beautiful, whatever. And in our minds, we're like a harsh critic, but it's because we don't see ourselves from the outside
So
and we're
true.
like up here all the time.
So, how can we take the moments where you or
Mhm,
I called each other and we're like, do you feel the sun on your
mhm.
skin right now? Or did you hear this song?
An active practice for sure. Like it's like an exercise,
Yeah,
physical, but mental.
to
And
be
you need to do that every
conscious.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out to Rachel,
Oh,
our friend
yeah, Rachel.
Rachel. I'm taking a lot of inspiration from her. And I'm always that person too. I think a lot of us are where we have to, before we do something, we're like, we have to have the perfect setup. It has to be perfect before we do it,
Look
which
at
is
us with a freaking
false.
podcast today. Guys, it took 2 hours to
Yeah,
set this up.
I need to tell myself that that's false
Yeah.
because I'm like, I need the perfect gratitude journal before I start journaling gratitude in the morning. But that's stopping me from doing the active exercise. It's like, just take a notebook.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be a template. Just take a notebook and write it. So I think to remind ourselves, like we did back then, would be like I said, shout out to Rachel. She says that she does her gratitude in the morning and at night, but not a day goes by that it doesn't happen. That's actively doing it. So I think doing that is going to make, because from what I've heard or trying to learn, gratitude brings more abundance. What I've read, if you're grateful for what you currently have, more things will come to you, brighten your life.
1000% agree. And I think with gratitude, it's also like just having the gratitude that we had in those small moments. I think we think of it as like, well, we don't have what we want, so we need to make a list of what we want and then manifest that and da 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 da. I think the more that we just live in the moment, like we were talking about,
Mhm.
like you have been very, very good at, and integrating the vibes,
The vibes.
even if they're not like,
I'm very appreciative for the tiny, tiny, tiny things,
yeah,
like the fork.
yeah,
Like that sounds. I know. Hold on, water break.
whatever.
To
Where's
some
the
to
sticker?
some that sounds funny or to some that sounds legit, but truly if it's the right seating at the right restaurant and the light is nice and the music is nice, it's a whole thing. Even if one of them is nice and the others are just okay. For me, it's like we have to appreciate it, you know? I think that's something I do. Finding the little joys in it's the
You
little joys.
The more that you talk, the more I think about past experiences, and this is in the past couple of years. I think you've even gotten, quote unquote, better at it.
Because it is authentically like
Very.
me. Even in my past jobs, it was always, no matter what the thing was happening, it was always the glass half full. I'm almost like a devil's advocate for, I don't really love that like term, but you know what I mean, for lack of a better term, to say, even if something is like, seems super bad, there's always like something else, almost to maybe the point where people might have been like, honestly, but I've had people like even leaving a job where they write goodbye. I'm glad to have worked with you because you always see things on the happier side of things.
Oh,
So I think that that's good because it helps people. It helps me get through the day,
yeah.
and I think it helps them along the course of hard times.
Yeah, because our lives are not going to be easy. They're not going to be all joyful
Hmm.
all the time. Like the sun isn't going to be shining just right. And the grass isn't going to be green every time of the year. But the more that we can look for the good and appreciate the good and then share that with others who might not see it inherently based on all of the experiences they've gone through, in the past, the better the world is.
Mhm.
And this podcast, I think, is just about like sharing our light.
That's truly what it's about.
What do you think like being positive has changed for you in those situations? And how do you think that's shaped into like what you're going to be doing in the future?
I think before the positivity has I think it also keeps us from dwelling in like the negative things. And even though I don't always find a solution, like the positivity keeps it moving
Yep.
forward. So you're going to get somewhere. And I think in the future, if I just keep remaining positive, the gratitude brings more things. The positivity is going to bring me more positivity. That's my thoughts on it, you know? And that you just have to not be perfect, but set the intention that your energy is going to be positive because then it'll flow back.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, you know, and everything. Career for me right now, because like we said, I'm at a crossroads. Currently looking for what to do for work since I've moved on from my past
Yep.
spot. So I'm just trusting a little bit in the universe, but learning that I have to align my behaviors with my thoughts, like positive thoughts, positive, looking for what would interest me.
Yep.
Not gonna pop out at me like jump in my face, maybe. Maybe it will one day.
Maybe.
You
Maybe.
never
Yeah.
know. The universe will be like, bam, this is how it's coming to you. But, you know, day by day, working to be positive.
Yeah, I know for me, when I started doing mediumship, I was at a crossroads like you, and I was like, I don't know what's going to come of this. I do
Mhm.
mediumship, but I'm not really getting clients per se. I had been told to go on TikTok Live by psychics. And
We love that.
every time the psychics would tell me this, because I would practice with other psychic mediums. And so
Mhm.
every time the psychic would say, I see you on TikTok Live, I'd be like, that's such a generic thing. Like, can I get something more specific? And then one day I'm like, how am I going to reach more people? And I'm like, these psychics are telling me to go on TikTok Live, but I didn't want to because it's uncomfortable. It's vulnerable. There's a lot of people. It didn't make a lot of sense. I knew nothing about TikTok. And that's when it's like, it was being thrown in my face. It was popping up like a huge banner in my awareness, but my mind was blocking it out, you know?
Exactly.
And you
Because
have to be
it's
open.
vulnerable and it's I can't be perfect on there. Like we were saying, it kept you from starting.
Yeah.
Now look.
Yeah. And it's
Now it's
completely
like your
changed my life.
favorite thing to do.
Literally, it's my favorite thing
And
to
probably
do.
the best thing to do.
Yeah.
It's reaching more people.
Yeah.
And that's the best.
Now, yeah, taking these positive moments and experiences.
Mhm.
Mike doesn't know what he's going to do next, but I do because I'm a psychic. So if we look at me and
Yeah,
compare
fill me
me,
in, fill me in.
so if we look at all
Let me
these
take a drink again
experiences,
to this. Go ahead.
if we have had all these experiences where
Mhm.
we're tuning in and you are somebody much like myself, we've
Mhm.
determined maybe you don't share it in the same way. I do think that I have always wanted other people to hear me, I think a
Mhm.
little bit more, whereas I would actually say argue that your approach to life is something that I would aspire to do because it's not that you're trying to prove it to anybody, which I tried to do a lot in my life. You're literally just sitting in the gratitude cut,
Mhm.
like we're in the dumpster,
The walls of the
sweater,
dumpster are just amazing.
and he believes it and he feels it, and you feel that from him, and he doesn't need anybody else to feel it. It's just emanating from him. He'll bring
Mhm.
awareness to it. You'll bring awareness,
Yeah. True.
you
True.
know?
You're right. That's by saying it out loud, I'm bringing awareness to it. I don't know what it is that makes me just say it out loud. Maybe I am trying to get people on my same wavelength.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
embodying it so deeply.
Mhm.
And so, if you look at what you just said about me sharing my light and look what I'm doing now
Mhm.
and creating positive experiences for yourself to then
Mhm.
hopefully attract positive experiences, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
That's been your I feel that you say that quite often.
But in this case, I mean, do you get what I'm getting at here?
I think so. Like do my own thing.
And share your light.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
No,
we're
I
doing on
get
this
it. I
podcast,
get it.
right?
Maybe this is an initial step that
Yeah.
we're on that I'm on this podcast together with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, being authentic, sharing the light with the world, sharing the
The
gratitude,
vibes.
the
The
vibes with
vibes.
the world, and whatever comes from it, and I like that feeling.
And if we're
Giving some up to the universe.
And if we're putting
Gratitude.
positivity out there by
Yeah.
embodying positivity and like good vibes, appreciation for the current moment,
Mhm.
what do you think's going to come back to you?
Just positivity and good things.
And
The
imagine
good
the
life.
amount of positivity that can be brought to everybody that sees you
I see
online.
it happening on your lives. Truly, I do. I do. People are like, I love the community, and they are seriously, and we love it. They love it. We all love
We
it.
all love it. It's like the
I'm part of it.
best.
I'm part of the
Yeah.
people too. But I just love to see people chatting with each other and like it makes them happy,
Yeah.
excited and happy and positive.
Being part of a community, reminding each other of the positivity, even when I
It's
do the
all about coming
readings.
together.
Yeah.
Like they love to hear from you, they love to talk to each
Yeah.
other. And I love it too. I'm commenting, I'm writing, moderator Mike's in the
Moderator Mike is
chat,
there. When moderator Mike is there, it's a
messaging like
different vibe.
crazy. But yeah.
So, as you start this next chapter of your
Mhm.
life and start to maybe share your light more,
Mm.
but you are starting a book club.
Yes, which I think is really good. I have always liked to read, but I feel like within the last, I don't know, 5 years maybe. It's been a couple years recently that I've really been picking it up and reading different kinds of books. Typically, I stay to honestly like motivational self-help books I love to read, but I also love thriller, like suspense books. So those are the two main ones. But I've been in my own personal book club for like 6 years where we meet in person. And so, honestly, if I'm starting, it's nice because it creates a different community online. You can reach more people,
Yeah.
which I'm relating like what you're doing. But with a book club, I can read more books with more people and we can have more discussions about it. And so, but I really want this to be the motivational type of books because I feel like there's endless amounts of books out there. Maybe I'll write one.
Yeah,
Maybe from the book club, I'll end up being an author and I'll write a book. Maybe that's the path I'm into.
for
But
sure.
I like that we can read that and it keeps us, well, at least for me, when I read them, it keeps me motivated. And like we said, to do the conscious mind activities, that to read every day about doing it makes me do it more.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to get into this, start this book club.
It is so, so, so easy for us to just be in
Yes.
our mind and get distracted and get busy with life. And I think we're always like moving through the vibes, moving through the lessons, but like what am I saying?
Conscious are you?
How conscious are you of it? And how much are you like integrating what you're reading into your experience? And I think the more you read and the more that you reflect and like journal and do the things and really carry that feeling with you throughout
Mhm.
your day, the more that it can actually take over your being and attract those positive experiences.
I'm trying to, well, I'm going to journal. Like I said, shout out to Rachel. She's giving me more inspo, but journal more. I obviously am a reader, so continue to read, journal, meditate. And it wasn't until I stopped working in June that I was like, it gave me more clarity because I'm not on that treadmill or that wheel that I step aside and I'm like, what are the things that are really going to make me like present and still and in the moment and appreciative because I appreciated things of course but now I have more time or I feel as though I have more time to sit there and be like what is it that's going to really connect me to a higher vibe and it's those things and so that's part of the book club is part of that
Yeah.
so that will be
And
great.
creating the community, I think when you're actively involved in a community that is also doing the things
Yes,
and
like-minded for sure.
creating that energetic experience for each other, that energy is going to be present with you throughout your day. And that's why the internet is like twofold. It's
It is, it truly is. It feels like depending on how you're using it and what you're doing. Like the TikTok lives you're doing are a perfect example. And the online discussion threads that you have separate to that is very much so you created a positive space. Everyone in there is positive, whether even if they're going
requirement.
even if they're going through something that feels heavy emotionally, there is everybody else in the chat or the live to say, like, send hearts or whatever. And that could truly be someone's go to for that time. Like, if they have nowhere else to go except the thread of communication, they're getting just like love pumped into them. And so if you use the internet in a great way like that,
It's beautiful.
that's what yeah, 2025 is where it's at.
But it can also be a place where you escape to.
Yeah, and you ignore, I don't know, it's more like a distraction.
Yeah.
I find myself getting distracted a lot on it. And because with all the positivity, your timeline is also could be negative. So I find myself, on there for a long time, but that time I could be using to
Yeah.
do something else more positive. So limiting it, this another conscious mind exercise to be like, I'm going to seek out my positivity through this medium and then like otherwise I'm going to it's really about caring for yourself because I notice like the distraction and just procrastinating my doing positive things is just not not what I want to be doing.
No, but it becomes second nature. And I think also
Hmm.
like when we're going about our lives and we're like thinking about all the things that we have to do and it becomes overwhelming and then we use the internet as an escape. It's like food or like anything that
That you can kind of lean too hard into, and it
yeah.
takes you away from like,
I think we do it when we don't feel good about ourselves or
mm,
when we feel unsettled in our being. Like that's when we seek these other methods. And so even if you're using I hate to
like a
say it,
distraction.
yeah, like even if you're
Mm.
using like the amazing spaces that do exist, including I think mine is.
It is.
No, but any of them that are full of love and light, but it's not being integrated into the moments of your day.
I get
It's
it.
just important to,
Are you saying that's separate than them taking time to truly work on themselves?
yeah, I think it has to be twofold.
So
Love
they
the
were
book
looking
club.
for validation or support in
Yeah.
the online forums or
Yep.
lives. That's making them happier maybe, or it's giving them more support. What do you think that they would need to do on their own solo to work on themselves?
Join your book club.
Okay.
Number one.
Other than something that's online.
What is my second? You know the second answer to this.
Shadow work?
Of course.
Oh, okay. All right, all right.
No,
Yes.
but and just getting comfortable, whatever way that is, but getting comfortable with being alone.
You've always been comfortable with being alone.
I have I love being alone.
Nothing you That's something you never had to
Work on.
learn.
No, I love it.
Ever. Ever. I mean ever since I met you.
Like literally I could go to
Leaves. Where's Cass? I don't know. She's eating at the restaurant by herself. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
What's Cass doing now? Oh, she's on a walk. If someone didn't want to do something, it did not matter.
Yeah.
You were just gone. You asked once, and then if no, you left.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
Like
you
I would
never
just
cared. Never cared. Well, I shouldn't speak for you. Not that you never cared, but it seemed as though if you wanted to do something, you would just do it.
that is
Traveling solo,
traveling solo.
something you've always done too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's important to get comfortable being alone. I'll say like the first time I traveled alone, I was fine doing it, but it's definitely there's a lot of things that come up when you do that. Like, why am I alone? I wish I had somebody here. Are people looking at me weird? So I definitely it's not that I didn't experience those, but I was always just kind of felt like, who cares?
We're all gonna feel that as a human.
And those things come up. You have to be comfortable feeling uncomfortable.
Yep. And now, next time you do it, you've already felt uncomfortable. You're like,
Yeah.
I could do it again.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes less uncomfortable, maybe just even by a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's good.
And then I think even when you're at your job or like something happens and you feel that same feeling of uncomfortable, you're like, oh, I've done this before. I've gotten through this before because I put myself in it.
And to just let it roam.
Yeah.
Because this appears, and then I'm like,
No, that's fine.
the way it got in, it will get out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you guys for joining.
I feel
did.
inspired. Yes.
I feel inspired. I love it.
Yes.
We'll be
And
back.
grateful.
And we're
I'm
always
inspired and grateful.
grateful. We're always grateful.
Back
We'll be back
and for
with
another
another
session.
episode.